Hey guys, welcome to the think tank. How you doing, Mekci?
Welcome to the think tank. Good.
Hello, James. Yeah, thank you. I
Yes.
learned how to play the violin at band camp.
The world's smallest violin. That's how we feel.
And I'm still working on door number 3, James. Like that was just kind of a hard question, I must say.
I mean, that's how like most of the elections in America have gone lately. It's like, hey, do you want to pick shite coffee or do you want to pick
Oh, we got diapers and soothers.
You're just like, oh, they're both shite. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, it's really hard. Like I'm sure door number 3 has got like a lot better option. I don't know. I'm gonna think on this one though. I am because I don't even know which direction I would go. I'd probably just not vote.
That's usually my go-to right there. So this is why I don't talk about politics too. I will say this. I don't like talking about politics because I don't vote. So I don't really feel like I have a right to
If I thought that I actually had a voice, I would probably do it. But I don't feel like I have a voice. There was no door number 3.
There's always a door number 3.
There was on what was that show when I was growing up? Oh my goodness, everybody used to dress up in costumes. And there was door number 1, door number 2, and door number 3. And you got to pick which one. 2 of them were really like not good places you wanted to be, and one of the doors was really good. And I'm thinking like that particular question gave me door 1, door number 2. Both would have had the crappy prize behind it. And I want door number 3. James.
Well, James, he's got some things going on right now. I'm not
A little
sure
bit.
he's gonna be eligible.
Yeah. We'll get on to Mr. Kohberger here, but so can somebody be elected after they have a record? Or is it just kind of make the rules as we go?
You would have to get prosecuted for those, but I mean, or found guilty for them, should I say. After that, no, you cannot be in office. But right now, like he's just like in court. If he's found innocent of everything, then yeah, he can.
Okay.
He can
Well,
run it, and obviously, our impeachments mean nothing.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Yeah, there is. He's innocent until proven guilty. But how do you work on that personality? Like,
I mean, he doesn't have to. That's Trump. He built this like back in 1986 something. Like he himself is an image, you know.
That he is.
And he has that going for him. Like I'm not gonna lie, it's annoying, but like he does have that going for him. And like Americans, we're just like kind of like, oh, I love that. Finally, someone who's out there and crazy like me. That's not fun. No.
Mm.
Hi, Dave.
And it's not like ours is like, I mean, the push-up king and the surfboard babe and it's like, what? Ay, ay,
He's
ay.
auditioning for like the next the next issue
God.
of Playgirl.
Oh my God. It's just like, oh, gross.
Does he
Just
have a calendar
gross.
out? Do you have a trio calendar?
Yeah, those are at the hospital when somebody needs to vomit and they can't, they flip that out and yeah, it helps those gag reflexes.
And all the pictures, if you flip them real fast, like all the pictures of the months are him just literally just doing a push-up. If you flip it really fast.
Right?
I just
It's
can't. It's
oh my
hilarious.
goodness. Well, and I mean, the dad was before him, and oh my God, he was just a thug. Like, truly just a thug. Yeah. So, looks like Kohberger is, they're still trying to fight having those cameras in the court. They're fighting pretty hard, actually. And
Yeah.
there's a lot of places, like a lot of the main, media is fighting this in a big, big way. I don't know if he's going to succeed, but we finally started getting trials where people who want to learn different things hear it from the horse's mouth instead of playing the telephone game.
Mhm.
And
Wow.
now they're wanting to, yeah. Yeah, I'm
That's
not
why
a political person either, Dave.
yeah, neither am I.
No,
That's why
not at all.
I don't speak too much upon it. I don't vote. I can't say much about anything. But coming back to this court thing, not cameras.
Mhm,
I followed the Valo kids
mhm,
whenever they went missing. Like it was a big thing, and I
right.
knew then that they were gone. But
Mhm.
I followed this because like it was pissing me off. This woman was just pissing me off left and right. Everything she did was just
Making you cranky.
when Bryan went to go in. It was his name Bryan, the guy from Idaho. No, his name's not Bryan.
Kohberger?
No, the news guy from Idaho. He also did the
Something Eaton?
is it
That guy?
Eden? Yeah. Is it Eden? Well, whatever. The guy from Idaho. He went
Yeah.
out there to Hawaii and he was like, "Hey, like
Yeah.
there's people all over the world praying for your kids." And she was like, "That's nice." He's like, like it looked like he
Mhm.
wanted to punch her in the face.
Nate Eaton.
Like
Yeah.
Nate Eaton. Yes. It
Yeah.
looked like he wanted to punch her in the face. He was like, "Seriously?
Yeah.
That's all you have to say?"
Yeah. Yeah. Shocking. Absolutely shocking.
And then when they didn't, she went to court and there was no cameras allowed. I couldn't even follow the case other than these like tidbits like these reporters were giving here and there. And I was just,
It's not the same.
no. And I really wanted to know what was going on because
Yeah.
I wanted to hear some explanation, something. I know,
Something for the
like I knew
behavior.
she did it. I knew she
Yeah.
did it, but I wanted to hear some sort of
Yeah.
plausible. I had no idea. Like,
Anything along right? Yeah.
just
And she
something
stuck her
in there to
nose so
thunderstruck.
high in the air as he was
Yes.
walking by. Her nose went straight up and she just kinda kept walking, and I'm like, "Oh my God, that's not a good look. Not a good look." So, Kohberger is saying that him and his lawyers, 24 flaws in the indictment.
24
So,
flaws.
this is what they're saying. 24
Are
flaws.
they gonna break them down? Because that'd be nice.
Sorry, I'll just get rid of this here.
All right, Stephen.
Ooh, it's a long one, so we'll go through it bit by bit so I don't get in trouble. So yeah, they're saying that there is all of these flaws. So aiming to dismiss the indictment and are alleging that the grand jury was biased, inadmissible, and insufficient evidence and prosecutorial misconduct.
I don't understand
So
that already.
August
'Cause
25th, this came out.
grand
Yeah.
juries, you give them the information that looks to you plausible. You don't have to
Yeah.
give them all the facts. You don't have to say, like, hey, this is what we have.
Right.
Do you think it's enough for an indictment? And then it's a jury at your indictment, or like once you go to court, that decides
Mhm.
whether any of this stuff
Yeah.
actually has value.
I think they're just dragging their heels. I really,
Oh,
really
she
do.
really is extremely
Yeah.
intelligent, Dave. Like, she's no joke.
Yeah. No, she isn't. No, she is not. No. I'm just gonna do this real fast. And Dar was looking for me. Alive, alive, we're alive.
Sure, come over, Rover.
So, a lawyer for suspected Idaho student deleter Bryan Kohberger is aiming to dismiss the indictment against him. Alleging grand jury bias. So, in a Wednesday court filing, defense attorney Jay Logsdon revealed that Kohberger's team was raising 24 issues in support of the allegations. However, the memorandum including those details was filed under seal.
Of course.
Yeah, did you see how many were filed under seal?
So we're not going to get an explanation or a breakdown on why. Okay, that's fantastic.
Right? At a hearing on Friday, August 18th, Kohberger's team discredited the DNA evidence in the case and called an expert witness from across the country. So that was not, in my opinion, an expert witness. That was a cop. That wasn't a DNA expert. That was somebody who worked on those types of cases and
The
law.
lawyer, you mean?
Was he a lawyer? Okay.
I think so. The lawyer, he ran, like, I don't know. I wasn't quite sure what his...
Yeah, they were trying to call him as a DNA expert.
No.
No, exactly.
And we've discussed this plenty of times, guys. My argument with it, I see the defense attorney's argument with it. I get it. But at the end of the day, they went and got his DNA personally from inside of his mouth.
Exactly.
And matched it to the alleged DNA sample from the sheath. So,
well, yeah, I'm dark in here, so I'm just gonna like stop my camera. See you guys later, skaters.
bye.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like, yeah, extremely intelligent. I mean, she's doing a great job. I can't say she's doing a bad job because she's doing everything she's supposed to do. It's just,
I want to see her, and I'm not trying to give her tips or anything, but I want, because she has mentioned it, I just wish you would maybe nail it a little bit harder. Those two other male samples that apparently exist that they weren't able to track down to anyone.
I haven't heard anything about that lately.
The question would be, did they also turn in those samples into this genealogy lab?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Again, I think it's going to have to do with where they got those samples. If they got them in the bottom of, I mean, we seen their house parties. They were massive. So that's going to be my guess, is it's going to depend on where this DNA was found.
But I do wonder, like, if they made the same effort, extraordinary effort, to find the owners of that sample as they did with his. I do wonder that. I mean, it is a plausible question, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But will he have the same DNA that was on that sheath?
Right. Yeah, that's a
And
yeah, whole different. They got
Yeah.
him. At the end of the day,
They've
they
got
got a
him.
warrant to get his DNA specifically. They matched
Yes.
it
Yep.
to the sheath that was found underneath
Yeah.
the girl.
Yeah.
I mean,
Underneath of Maddie, in between a comforter and Maddie, they're saying.
and if it's just touch DNA, like if it was just him touching it, could the defense come up with a plausible reason of why it would be on there? Sure. But man, that's really hard to argue, especially of where it was found. The key is where it was found.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah. Yeah. Touch DNA is tough. Is a tough sell. It's a big world. Yeah. Yeah. And it's an ethical question. It's for the court to decide out of thought. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the defense, like we were saying, he's got a really good defense. So they're going to try and get in any way they can. They're going to go in there and worm their way and try and put in all of that doubt. But it's just, there's too much. There's too much
that they could say maybe that the knife and the sheath were already inside the home. Do you think like they'd find someone that could be like, yeah, it was in there?
Still, again, a hard sell, I think, due to where it was found.
Perry always coming in just
Hi, Perry. If they get the right people to work on his cell phone data, he is toast.
And we know FBI is involved, so
yeah. No, he's in trouble. They can take his DNA. Take it. It's not going to make that much difference. It might have been what led to him, but it's not what I think is going to be what he gets convicted for.
Lawyer is arguing the in between, which I get, cool, but it doesn't change the fact that the state still took that sample and they sent it to their state lab
exactly
to get a profile, and then they turned that profile in. What the lab did in between that with their protocols and how they work things is not the state's fault. And they still were able to get to Bryan, and they still got a warrant for his DNA, which they matched with that profile. So they did it right. How they got there,
who knows?
Right. But that's not that's up for the court. That's up for the jury, argue it in court.
Honestly think so. Yeah. I honestly think so. I'm the jury will be able to decide if they think some of this stuff is any good to use as material, or if they just throw it into the left field and leave it out there. I just think there's too much between cell phone data, between his car being seen, his DNA, his behavior towards women, his lack of any kind of empathy for an individual. I think all of these things are going to come into play.
Now that you mentioned that, it reminds me, do you remember how you were talking about how someone had come forward and said that he would go to parties over at a pool party over at one of the apartments? It was like a popular hangout for the kids there from Moscow. So they could make an argument to say that maybe he did attend some of those parties. You saw how people walked in and out of there.
Yeah. Absolutely. I don't think it would be unreasonable to assume that Bryan met these girls at a party.
Or at least saw them.
Yeah. No furniture, guilty. Guilty.
Like not even like a fold out lawn chair, nothing. Just no camping gear, just
Like
nothing in there. You're like,
just
oh.
a weirdo. I'm just a weirdo. So when his dad came, would they just both pull up a piece of floor and like, oh
Grab some
my,
carpet.
yeah, grab a piece of carpet there, Dad. Sorry, we don't have pillows. We use our clothes here as pillows. No, we don't need blankets. It's just like, what? No shower curtains. So the guy didn't what? He didn't bathe? Is he a bubble bath boy?
With little bath bombs.
Oh yeah, the little bath bombs and the little powder puff
that have
and,
little like
oh
engagement
my
rings in the
God.
middle.
Right? Ay. So it says here in a probable cause affidavit made public in January, prosecutors revealed key evidence used to obtain the initial warrant to get Kohberger arrested. The subsequent preceding indictment, however, presented evidence to the grand jurors behind closed doors. According to the affidavit, police responded to a house near the University of Idaho campus November 13th, 2022, and found the 4 students deleted: Kaylee Gonsalves, 21, Madison Mogan, 21, Zanner Knodel, 20, and Ethan Chapin, 20. So, motion to dismiss indictment on grounds of biased grand jury, inadmissible evidence, lack of sufficient evidence, prosecutorial misconduct, in withholding exculpatory evidence. Oh man, they're reaching high. So comes now, Bryan C. Kohberger, through his attorneys of record and files, a motion to dismiss the indictment on grounds of a biased grand jury. Inadmissible evidence, lack of sufficient evidence, prosecutorial misconduct by withholding exculpatory evidence. The motion is based on the state's various violations during the grand jury pursuant to Idaho Code, blah, Idaho Criminal Rule, blah, blah, and rules of evidence, blah, and blah, and blah, and blah, a whole bunch of blah, blahs. And prosecutor misconduct pursuant to the Idaho Criminal Rule 6.1. Mr. Kohberger raises 24 issues, which are sent forth in a full memorandum in support of the motion to dismiss the indictment. What? Unreal. So this was delivered on the 23rd of August, so just recently. Defense expert witness Gabriela Vargas testifies about genetic genealogy and DNA databases during a hearing Friday, August 18th at the Ladau County Courthouse in Moscow.
I didn't see hers. I saw the lawyer guy, but that's the one I wanted to see because that's the motion that I had read.
Mm-hmm.
And like the part where it's supposed to be like her expertise, I was like, why is she talking about this stuff? This isn't expertise stuff. It's just like, oh, this is what I've done. And when I walked into Walmart, I bought a red shirt. Like it was just so weird. Like,
okay,
it wasn't like her expertise. It was like just her talking about.
I'm just talking about it.
How?
Because they're not. How are they calling her an expert witness?
But I did want to see her speak because I was interested in hearing it.
Again, behind closed doors, right?
Mm-hmm.
So all 4 had been objected multiple times. Some were asleep at the start of the attack. Investigators say the knife sheath has DNA on it that matches Kohberger, and it was under Maddie Mogan's body. So Kohberger, who attended the neighboring Washington State University in pursuit of a PhD in criminology, drove a white Hyundai Elantra, the same type of car investigators identified as a suspect vehicle and allegedly turned his phone off before heading to and from the scene. Police citing phone records, also alleging that he was following the victims home on a dozen occasions before the deleting and drove by once more hours later. Grand jurors could have been shown different or more in-depth evidence behind closed doors before agreeing to the indictment. The judge entered not guilty pleas on Kohberger's behalf at his arraignment in May, and Kohberger previously said through a public defender where he was arrested in Pennsylvania that he was looking forward to being exonerated. So to be exonerated, don't you already have to be convicted? So if he's like this big of a fancy pants, how come he's not using the terminology right? On Wednesday, he waived his right to a speedy trial, postponing the proceedings that would have began next month. He faces 4 charges of first degree and a felony burglary count. If he's convicted, the maximum penalty could be unalived by firing squad. Aw. Aw. So, let's see here. Yeah, I really think so, Dave. Guilty. I just have a feeling he's gonna. Oh, no. You think so? You think he might walk? Ooh, I hope not, friend. I hope not. I think that they just might have enough other than what we're seeing. Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, that could be a little too light of a punishment. It seems when they have to sit and stew there for a while is when it is the most effective.
Oh,
Make
are we
them
preparing is it death by bayonet? That's brutal.
Oh, and yet could be the way the proper way to go with someone like this if he is guilty. I don't have much doubt that he's guilty as sin. I wish I had some doubt, but I just don't. I
mean,
just don't.
there was like a thing going around for a while that we've said a few times that maybe it wasn't about not getting caught.
More about the game?
But getting away with a crime using the system.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be the ultimate smarter than you thing?
Yeah, I agree, Dave. I absolutely agree. Okay, so the heartbroken families of the University of Idaho students will be able to watch the trial via Zoom. Loudoun County Court judge order will also allow Kohberger's family in Pennsylvania access to the proceedings if they opt to avoid the crush of reporters and spectators expected to attend the headline-grabbing spectacle. It is that. The court is mindful that limited courtroom capacity and potential travel restrictions may interfere with the victims and the defendants' families' ability to observe the court proceedings in this case. Yeah, that's sad. You know, it's sad that they might not be able to. I suppose some of them don't want to be there to see this happen too. They just want to start surviving.
Are they offering that same thing to Kohberger's parents?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Therefore, in the event they are unable to, I don't know.
Not that that I cared. I just I was just kind of wondering if that was a thing.
If it would be. Yeah. I mean, it's not the parents' fault that he's let's hope that's not their fault that he turned out this way.
Right. Well,
you know.
I mean, the daughters aren't like that way, although they do have a very interesting profession. Both of them do.
Yeah, that's very well true. Yeah. Yeah. All of them. One went crazy and on
Allegedly.
some young
Allegedly.
went crazy on some young girls and a young man, and the other ones are more interested in how a person ticks.
Yeah. Interesting, right?
I think so.
Because,
Yeah, I
we
think so.
were throwing around like, guys, we're not professionals. This is just all theory.
Mhm.
If you're a true crime junkie, you've probably seen and heard a lot of things. So, you know how we were talking, kind of throwing around like, where's the escalation for Bryan, right? Like,
Mhm.
you just don't go from 0 to 60 like that.
This is the thing.
So, what
This
was
is
he
the
doing before? When did it start?
Yeah. Yeah. What do the sisters actually know about him? Do they know more than
What made
I
his
mean,
sister suspect him? That
mhm,
there's that story that says that she apparently went through his car looking for
mhm, for
something.
anything
Yeah.
and smelt bleach. Like, how many times was this vehicle allegedly bleached?
And we both said, like, that's not something you do. Like, that's not something I would
Mm-mm,
do
mm-mm.
to my brothers, like,
No, no.
I would just wouldn't, I don't suspect them of anything. They're my
It's not the
brother.
first thing
Like,
that crosses your mind.
no. So,
Oh,
like, why?
got a car that
What
yeah.
made her suspect him? There has to be something.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a big leap, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's a big leap. And how did they hear about all of that? Where were they that they were getting the information about these attacks?
As far as like when it was happening, like where were they?
I guess it hit the mainstream pretty fast,
Yes,
right?
it did. Absolutely quickly.
Yeah.
Because I remember
Yeah.
weirdly, because that's my dude's birthday is on the 13th
Mm,
of November, and
okay.
we had gone to a movie, and I looked at my
Mm.
phone to a whole bunch of messages from you.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
well, no, yeah, I think because it happened on the 14th. I don't know. I just woke up. There was a whole bunch of messages about something that happened the day before or that night,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I
I
can't
was
remember
on
what it was.
panic. Yeah.
I can't remember what it was. But then the next day, it just kind of like blew up. And I know like I was out and about, and you were like texting me too, like about it. And I was like, "What is going on?
What is
Who?
going on?
Where?"
Frankie, leave me the hell alone.
No, I mean, when they arrested Bryan Kohberger, guys, I was sitting in a dentist office, like getting work done. And I had to
Mhm.
and they're like, "Who is this guy? Like, what's the guy's name?" I'm literally laying in a chair, like Googling things, telling this
Good.
guy to stop. And I was like, "Hey, hold on, I need to send this. This is important."
Oh my god. Yeah, like and, it seemed like it was a while before they arrested Kohberger, but ultimately, it with everything that was done, it was pretty fast.
They had him within that month. They already had their eyes on someone within the month. And they never let it be known. Like the lawn Ellie was really, really discreet about a lot of things. They really wouldn't tell you anything. But if you read those PDFs they were putting out on their website,
Mhm.
like every day for a while, whatsoever, like when you read those, if you actually read them the way they're like word by word, you're like, oh my god, they're like telling you everything that they have. They
Yeah.
had
Yeah.
already had that by the time they told the public about the white Elantra. They had already
Mhm.
known about it for like 2 weeks.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. They had known about it for a while. This is a good time, thinking about that car again, to mention Gray Hughes and
Yes.
the work that he did on those last couple videos. I'm gonna give him another shout out over the,
His
if you
link.
guys want to have like a really good idea of the timing in the house, the times that that vehicle allegedly drove around the area, it's bang on. He was on court TV. Well, good on him. Good on him. He's not for everybody, but you know what? Neither am I, so I think his information is usually bang on, and I have absolutely no problem giving him a shout out. What he
I immediately shut it off.
I just there are some of his work is exceedingly well, and those 2 videos, I highly recommend watching them.
Dude,
It's just you
I
get a
told-
really
as soon as I went in, I immediately gave him money. I was like, bro, here you go.
yeah.
Fantastic work. It's
Yeah.
he's a little bit he's testy. I'm gonna be polite. He's testy. He is a little testy. I think he just doesn't like the BS. You know, he doesn't like the theories that are not based on facts. And he calls people out for it.
Oh, he does, and it can be
Um,
rather funny,
It
actually.
can.
Yeah. 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 Do you know there's a clown on YouTube? True crime. It's a clown. Like there's a clown.
With a face, makeup, and everything.
Everything. Yeah.
You're just
Oh
like, yes,
my-
Gray. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Pretty
he is so
funny.
good at the stuff that he does, his maps, his animations, they're great. They're absolutely fantastic. And they really
Yeah.
do give you a good
They
idea.
explain things.
Yes.
Yeah. It gives you can visualize this stuff in your head a lot easier. You know, he'd go to one attack and he'd leave you in that room for 2 minutes, nothing there, just 2 minutes of sitting there. And it gives you an idea what and how long 2 minutes actually is.
Well, that it can really happen in that amount of time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, this little snaky guy is the same as mine. Looks very much like mine. Mine's brighter. So, yeah, I mean, if it's good information, I'm all about it.
And he's usually always on point. Like he's not going to give you theories or like BS, should I say. Everyone has theories, but like theories that he's going to give you theories that are based on facts. What's in front of you from like a probable cause or common sense, I guess.
Yeah. He doesn't throw out like a lot of the scenarios that are just for clicks and views.
Yeah.
He sticks to, like you're saying, things from the PCA and
Just
very similar as you in that way, as you're very, very detail oriented. I believe that he is as well. I think all those details are what makes the difference.
To do those cute little things he does with the car on a map.
Yeah, I don't know which app that can be done on. I don't know if. I don't know. I don't know. So this is what they were saying. I think this was in July. This was back in July, and this is still basically the same kind of thinking that they have now. We just read the other article that was from yesterday or earlier today, I guess. And this is along the same idea, but it's telling you that they're thinking that or claiming that they're their client was framed by a dirty cop, suggesting in a new court filing that an investigator planted Kohberger's DNA, Jasmine, on a knife sheath found at the scene. The defense questioned why the possibility that one of hundreds of members of law enforcement involved in a probe could have planted DNA to secure an arrest in a high-profile case isn't being considered more. Well, because it doesn't even make sense. Why would you just, some random guy, take his DNA and attach it to a case? There's no reason. They didn't know who he was. It doesn't even make sense in my mind.
I still want to know, like, for my own personal knowledge, my curiosity, because
Yeah.
I want to know these things. Like, when the state lab sent that to them, were they just like, John Doe?
Mm-hmm.
I just would like to know, like, how they label that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. Why would they plant Kohberger's DNA there? Like, that's just silly. Out of everybody that they could have put DNA in there with all the criminal element that's running around, why would they just take some random dude from a different university?
I mean, they wouldn't even have to have done that because that's a party home.
Exactly.
Let them take whatever DNA they want from anywhere they want at that point.
Yeah. Prosecutors fired back in their own filing, writing that they are at a loss over how the defense could concoct such a theory. The DNA match isn't the only evidence stacked against Kohberger in the quadruple slaying, as he also drove a white Hyundai that cameras captured near the scene. He was also allegedly spotted doing some creepy stuff at his parents' home, like separating trash with latex gloves as cops busted through the door to arrest him in the middle of the night. So, yeah, why would just the average Joe feel the need to be doing that stuff? What would make a person think, oh, just for the hell of it, I'm going to go rummage through the parents', garbage and put stuff that I personally have had in the neighbor's garbage. I think that's the best thing for me to do in the middle of the night tonight, standing in my underwear in my parents' kitchen. Yeah. Like, what? Bryan Kohberger. And again, the defense is trying to question the validity of the sheath's DNA. Uncuffed and in plain clothes, Bryan Kohberger walks into a courtroom as the families of the 4 University of Idaho students he is accused of deleting last year watched from feet away. Oh my God, I don't think I could do it. I think I'd be jumping. I think I'd be jumping the pews, man. Let me at him. In the hearing, Kohberger's defense questioned the validity of DNA found on the sheath at the crime scene that authorities allegedly connected him to the 4 deletings. Defense attorney demanded more information from the prosecutor about the DNA. Them and the DNA, that's all you hear out of them is, oh, the DNA, oh, the DNA. How about you tell us where he was? Let's start there. You tell us where he was. You tell us why his phone was there. Tell us why he was hooking up to a tower right behind these girls' house. There's so much. Again, check out those videos. We have given the defense everything that we have received from the lab. They've asked for DNA workups on other people to the extent that they don't have them. They weren't done. Latah County prosecuting attorney Bill Thompson said, I honestly think that this small town lawyer Bill Thompson is insulted by the defense. I think that he's very, very used to working with people he's familiar with. And I think that the games that the defense is playing, I think he is actually finding it insulting.
You
On
know,
November Mhm.
real quick, because Dave just said something about, well, a creator, but he said the boyfriend in the Bryan Kohberger case, which would have been, what was Kaylee's boyfriend's name?
Oh, oh no.
Oh my goodness.
J.
Well,
Mm.
you know what was strange about that? And I'm
Mhm.
glad that he brought that up, because you remember she had made all those phone calls to him,
Yep.
and so did Maddie.
Yeah.
And you know how we like like in the earlier videos, Dave, you weren't here for those, but we speculated earlier, like, why would she call him a whole bunch of times? Like, did she think that did they see this guy? Was like, now, you know what I mean? Like, you know
Oh.
how they released that video now from the apartment of him doing like turns there? Like,
Night, James.
driving around the apartment and by their house. Did they see
Mhm.
that while they were walking the dog? Because they walked the dog.
Yeah.
Did they start calling him for like, hey, like something's going on? Like, there's this weird car that keeps driving by,
Oh, right?
but he never answered. I mean, not his fault, but like,
No, it wouldn't be his fault, but isn't that something if that was the reason is they were getting creeped out?
yeah, because we know they got home, right? Around 2.
Mhm.
And Kaylee's sister confirmed that her and Maddie took the dog out. So there's that yard's not fenced in. So obviously you're going to put the dog on a leash and probably walk it around.
Isn't that interesting? Yeah. I mean, I had never thought of that before.
I'm like lost in thought now, because that's like, it's absolutely possible that happened. Because I know I would do something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when I lived in an apartment complex, walking my dog who had weird hours, like 2-3 o'clock in the morning, and
Yeah.
there's not really places to walk, so you just walk your dog wherever. So you're like walking kind of like by cars, and all of a sudden you realize there's someone sitting in a freaking car. Like,
Yeah, that would right?
you're just like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they literally could have
just
watched that
started.
vehicle go around.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting? And, that comment, someone's here, is also very interesting. Is
Because I
that
want to know
something?
how exactly that was expressed too, as well.
Mhm.
How did that
Oh,
sound?
yeah, exactly. Exactly. Is it's somebody's here because, DoorDash showed up? Or is it somebody's here because there's some big guy standing there with a pointy object in his hand?
Yeah. You would
You know?
absolutely know the difference of, hey, someone's here,
Mhm. Mhm.
to, hey, someone's fucking here. Like,
Exactly. Exactly.
only more terrified, like terrified
Right.
voice screaming.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. No, it would be interesting.
They say
And,
approximately 4:15. No, what's the time on the DoorDash that they say? I made an Excel sheet.
oh, it was just after 4:00. Just a couple minutes after 4:00. Court documents filed in June. Prosecutor said the DNA sample taken from Bryan Kohberger following his arrest was a near match to the DNA on the sheath. court filings earlier this month, Kohberger's attorneys argued that he is innocent and was out driving alone at the time of the deletings. And yeah, just driving alone around their house, circling them like a buzzard. Mr. Kohberger has long had a habit of going for long drives alone, his attorney said, adding that he is not claiming to be at a specific location at a specific time. Yeah, because that's not weak at all.
Not.
An alibi defense is not, I simply wasn't there at the time. Tamburino, who is, again, one of Kohberger's. You must provide specifically where you were, time, place. Also, if you have any witnesses. The judge Friday denied a request by Kohberger's defense to delay the trial, which remains slated, well, not any longer. It was supposed to start on October 2nd. In June, prosecutors said that if he is convicted of all the deletings, they will pursue the DP. Fair enough.
Oh, it's
Fair
fine.
enough.
What the hell? Can I wrap this text? What am I doing? Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah, and with this DoorDash driver, it's also interesting. I'll be interested to know if we can find out who actually picked that up. Did Ethan grab it from the door? Did
Yeah.
how did that work? Do you have something you want to put up, Mekci?
Yeah.
Okay. It's up.
$4 o'clock, apparently.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, it was pretty close to 4 on the nose.
Yeah, 4 o'clock DoorDash. I had made a spreadsheet.
That is awesome. When did you do that?
Way back when.
Nice. I don't think I've seen that.
Yeah, I'm a visual learner, so this stuff helps me kind of look
Yeah.
at
Do you mind
stuff.
sending that to me? I'll print it off.
Yeah, you'll have to put it in Excel and then move it out, like wrap the text so it shows up right. Does that make sense?
Can I put it in Adobe?
Yeah. I mean, I think so.
No, that's awesome. Good job. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think they have enough. And we still don't know. And we've talked about this before. We still don't know the results from all of those warrants, from all of those different apps, from, there was talk that
the defense did say that at some point in one of those motions, that prosecution didn't have anything off of his digital devices.
So what do they mean by that? Like no pictures?
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if they mean that
like,
they just found nothing. Like he has nothing to track them to them, to point them to them, to lead. Like that's kind of how I took it as, like the way they put that. But
and again, like it's hard with the defense because you know that they can lead you astray. That's something they're allowed to do. They
have to be getting that from somewhere, right? Like that has to be coming from the documents that they have, the evidence that they've already been presented. They have to be saying that for a reason. I'm so curious to like, what is it? What? I want to know.
Yeah. So tell me, DoorDash, is that something that you call, you pay for it, they drop it off and they leave, or do you pay for it when they come? How does that work usually?
No, you pay before they even deliver it.
Okay. So they can ring the doorbell.
Your credit card's on file, your debit card's on file with them. So whenever you go to order anything, it charges it, but like it puts it like in a, what's that called? pending, right? Because like you still need your food to be delivered because sometimes stuff happens or they cancel or whatnot. So you won't get charged, but they do charge you immediately, and there's a pending charge, and then they just deliver it. However, you can put instructions down on just leave it at the door because you can track them. There's a tracking thing to them, so
so can they just ring a doorbell, put the bag down and leave type thing?
Yeah. You can leave that instruction. Like ever since COVID happened too, a lot of people like contactless delivery. So you just with certain like bigger restaurants like Pizza Hut, for example, they deliver themselves, but you would put a notation that says just leave at door, and then contactless delivery.
Okay.
They're supposed to just leave. Sometimes they hang around. It's annoying. I'm like, I already tipped you. Go away.
Go, fly be free. Fly be free. Okay, let's see here. What do we got going? Attorneys want those cameras banned. So yeah, this is what's the biggest thing right now is wanting those cameras out of there. Now, Grass Guy's going to be here in a minute. So we're just about finished up. Good timing.
Oh,
good timing.
So, Grass Guy this late? My goodness.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm going to, let's see here. I have to make sure my dogs are in. So yeah, this does seem to be the biggest thing right now, wanting those cameras out of the room. They're saying that they don't want the cameras focused just on him, and they want, or any paper or notes on the defense table. It's just, they say photos paired with what it called blatant, sensationalistic, and prejudicial headlines and content can gradually poison a potential jury pool before the trial starts. But we're not asking to be in there before the trial starts. We want to see what goes on during the trial. So I just think that's like a really,
even if they just, like we spoke of, just letting one big time network in there with access, because I want to see it in real time. I want to hear this information in real time. Like, I don't want to get it from someone else's interpretation. I want to hear it.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, and I think that's I think we just all want to see justice happen.
Yeah.
We want to see it with our own eyes. We want to hear it with our own ears. We don't want it to be something that
a mouthpiece with their own interpretation. Yeah, I want to hear it for myself.
Exactly. So let's see here. Motion to disallow cameras still scheduled to be heard on Friday, September 1st. Okay. Didn't they change that? Let's see here. A hearing scheduled to address the defense motion for dismiss for Friday, September 1st in the case against Bryan Kohberger has been vacated and rescheduled for later in the month. That's what I thought. A hearing to rule on whether or not cameras are allowed in the courtroom is still scheduled for Friday. The hearing will review a defense motion requesting that cameras not be allowed in the courtroom at any further proceedings in the case, charging Kohberger with the deaths of the 4 university students. Kohberger's motion to dismiss the indictment on grounds of biased grand jury, inadmissible evidence, lack of sufficient evidence, prosecutorial misconduct in withholding, withholding exculpatory evidence, as previously reported by Idaho News. That was a mouthful for my tongue. So, as previously previously reported by Idaho News 6, the state argues that the document supporting the motion containing detailed factual and evidentiary issues that will require not only review and submission of the entire grand jury transcript. Like, back off the grand jury. They did their job and they did it properly. Previous orders by the judge require the state, I've seen that, have required the state to have a response prepared by August 30th after filing for an extension, and hearing date was rescheduled as Judge John Judge granted the prosecution's request for an extension of time to prepare for rebuttal to the motion to dismiss. The state's response to the defense motion is due September 14th, and any reply from the defense is due by September 20th. This hearing has been rescheduled for September 22nd at 10:30 Pacific time. The original October 2nd start date for Kohberger's trial has been vacated as the defense has recently waived his right to a speedy trial. Kohberger is presently facing DP for the 4 first-degree charges. Yeah, I think he's in a bunch of trouble. Thanks for that, Dave. It's always great having you here, friend.
Yes, it's always fun when you come.
Always, absolutely. I like again, the think tank. It works. Great group. I love all the diversity and the different thoughts. It's probably been one of the most enjoyable parts of doing this is getting to see everybody's thoughts and opinions, things that we might not think about on our own. It's it's a great group. Very, very fortunate to have.
Getting to know everyone's been fun, Everyone's got such a great sense of humor.
I know, right? Yeah. Great sense of humor, fun people, brilliant minds. It's just, it's been a wonderful experience. I'm very much enjoying this and don't plan on stopping in the near future.
Good, because we love you.
All right, back at you, friend. And same thing to all of the people that have subscribed, whether new or older. I'm appreciative of every single one of you guys.
Or if you're just lurking in the shadows.
Humor and music are everything. Well said, right? Yeah. Maybe we should put up that Discord link for Dave again. I'll grab it.
Didn't you join already?
Yeah, I think we did it the other day. But let's see here.
America.
Not always easiest, just as I'm putting them up as the stream's ending, right?
I win.
There you go. Oh, damn. So again, that's that Discord link. Come join us over there. We've got basically everyone you're getting to know here is over there. And we've got all sorts of great cases to go through. You can add, you can take, you can, whatever you want. The main area, everybody basically chit-chats and gets their giggle on. We've got space. Yeah. We've got spaces for Bigfoot. We've got spaces for aliens, good music, true crime. Yeah. That's awesome, Dave. We'd love to see you. You know what? Not really, because there's usually someone in there that'll help you as soon as you pop in. Yeah. So one of us, if not both of us, any of the others, we've got all of the mods are over there now, and a lot of the people that we're seeing in our normal chat. Yeah, it's been nice to get everybody kind of between the different platforms, because they might be true crime, but they've got different vibes to them.
And it's a way to actually put that sense of humor out, you know, because we are really always talking about serious subjects, but sometimes things are funny. Like,
well, yeah.
It's like Frankie posted something today, and this is terrible. I hate hurricane. People are flooding. But like, there's this guy in the middle of Georgia in like 3 feet of water, like riding a bike. Bruh.
I mean, hell, why not?
My goodness. I want to say like go home, but God knows what home looks like. Like, this dude just
Yeah.
just stop. Okay. Stop.
Oh, I mean, amazing. Just amazing. And I mean, why not? Why not? But you can't, I mean, you can cry, but I don't know. Sometimes that humor is needed. And I tell you what, a guy riding his bike after a hurricane through a lake.
3 feet of water. I don't want to laugh, but it's like, dude, what are you doing, bro?
Oh my goodness.
You trying to save. I'm gonna have to come save you and your buddy.
A guy I used to go to school with, that area flooded pretty good one time, and everybody in town was sandbagging along the river edges and what have you. Well, this guy was always the class clown. Well, oh my goodness, everyone's like lifting up, getting all of their important things. They're loading up, they're getting out of there, they're sandbagging, they're doing whatever they can. And here's this guy that decides he's going to go out there in his little boat. And yeah, he's out there riding the waves. The helicopter spotted him, and like they chased him back home. It's like, what are you doing?
I'm thinking of that picture of that guy riding his bike in that in a hurricane in 3 feet of water. And all I can think of, you know, those memes where like you have to go to work and your boss is like, are you coming to work? Boss, like, I'm in 3 feet of water. My car is like floating away. Well, you need to come in.
You got to be here. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. Unreal.
Yeah. Supervisors be like, you coming to work? And he's like, got a bike.
Yeah. Let me get my Sea-Doo out.
Oh man.
Well, I hope everybody in those states are doing okay. I don't know. We've never really had to, we get tornadoes, we get fires, we get floods, but hurricanes is not something I'm interested in ever seeing. You know, they're so devastating. And when Mother Nature gets mad, watch out. Yeah, and sometimes the competition is pretty stiff.
I don't know what that guy was doing. I hope that wherever he is, he's safe. And
oh, making somebody's day out there. Can you imagine?
You know, if that's what he's out there doing, but that's dangerous, man. Like, come on.
Yeah, a little bit. Hey, ladies.
If he was wearing a clown suit and riding that bike, I'd be dying right now. I would know it was a joke. I'd be like, this guy's clowning us all, man.
Oh my goodness. Well, the documents that I was going to go through, we pretty much hit up one of the the
Mhm.
ones that give a little bit of information. I was all excited thinking there was going to be all of this good information on there. And basically it was everything that was dropped is all about the no cameras. Yeah. Yeah,
Or
it was a
because I was hoping to hear about those 23, 24 violations or whatever.
right?
That's
Yeah.
the defense was,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, let me hear it.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Cersei. Oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's going to be interesting. I mean, when this trial actually happens, if they fight hard enough and we're actually able to keep the cameras in there, oh, it's going to be a good day because there is so much information floating around. It'd be nice to start putting those pieces together. I was going to say, that's funny. I have the same problem.
Yeah. I just had that face that says, please come talk to me. Please come talk to me. I swear, every time I go to the bar, I pick the table in the dark at the very end. No one's even around, and someone finds me. And
Yeah,
I'm just
right?
like, oh, do I have a sign on my back? Is there like a sign on the table? It says free advice over here? No, I don't think so.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. No, the sign actually says stay away.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what you're seeing.
When you pick like the table in the back of the room with nobody around,
Right?
in the
Yeah.
farthest seat at the table away from everyone still, and that person needs like they need a talking to. No, I don't actually.
I'm not looking for company. That's why I'm over here. And that's the thing. There could be 300 people. And yeah, person's just kind of singled out. You know what? I see the lawn guy headed this way, which means my dogs are going to go insane. We're
Okay.
going to hear bzzz and bzzz
Okay.
going on.
Like that.
So I think I'm going to call it.
All right.
Thanks, Mekci.
You're
Thank you.
Thanks for having me as always. Thanks, guys, for being here.
Yeah, thanks everybody. Thank you very much. Looking forward to seeing you over on Discord.
Loki and my
Dave.
roommate are both. Bye.
Bye, Loki. Have a good night, everybody.
Bye, guys.